There's only one rule in this fucking jungle. When the lion's hungry, he eats.
E FooLy is the truth.
You gonna learn today.
What is happening, YouTube? Y'all know me, E FooLy, man. We're gonna jump all into this topic. Man, GrandPooBear. I know I've talked about him before on my channel, but this time I'm actually defending him. And for those who don't know, and it's probably, you know, a small community that does, another streamer, a female, called GrandPooBear out, and the main thing that really disturbed me about it is none of his friends, none of the other streamers stood up, because you have to understand, I look at it as people are worried about their bag, which is understandable. You know what I'm saying? When streaming or being in the public eye, when that's your main source of income and you have families to take care of, you have to think appropriately. You know what I'm saying? And it's better to not get involved than to sit up there and say your stance because you're worried about what others think. But nobody defended GrandPooBear in this whole situation, and I really felt bad for the dude because he did a stream and he only streamed for an hour and 40 minutes. And I've never seen this motherfucker stream so short. And you could just tell on his face, like, the motherfucker looked run down. Like he was trying to put on that act, that good, what do you call it? That streamer, whatever. But you could just tell, man, that this whole situation was fucking him up. And for those who don't know, I will let you know what happened. And this is so stupid, and I'm just gonna spit straight facts to you. This all started, and I'm gonna show it on the screen. This all started because somebody didn't play a video game with somebody else. All right, and I guess GrandPooBear wanted somebody to play, which is this other streamer, DragonFeeney, and she didn't want to. And then GrandPooBear, and I will admit, he's a sarcastic son of a times. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, do I believe he's a drama queen? Sometimes he probably could be. I've seen him, but that all comes with, I feel like, and when I say drama queen, I meant prima donna. That all comes with popularity. You know what I'm saying? I can see somebody doing that when you got a big head because, you know, you get this many views or whatever, what have you. But he said on his stream, hey, you know, I'm mad at DragonFeeney, and I wish I could show the clip of him doing it, but that's his normal MO of him saying shit and being sarcastic about it. She took it the wrong way, you know, like he was really calling her out. But what I feel in my heart of hearts, because me being a viewer versus them two actually seeing each other behind the scenes and stuff, if I saw that he was being sarcastic, that motherfucker saw that he was being sarcastic. You see what I'm saying? And because he said what he said, she took it the wrong way and just jumped off. And I'm telling you, this bitch wrote a transcript. You know what I'm saying? She wrote pages and screenshots and all of this stuff. And I'm like, bro, you were cooking this. All of this from or him saying he was mad at you over playing a video game. You jumped off and showed all this personal stuff. It's just a very bad look. Not for Pooh, for DragonFeeney, because it's like all of this stemmed from not playing a game. Y'all supposed to be friends for however many years, and you're telling me you couldn't talk to this dude to the side. And I think she mentioned, she was like, I've talked to him before, but me and another one of my homegirls was talking about the situation, and she said simply, if you talk to somebody behind the scenes and they don't apply or, you know, take heed to what you said, cut them off. Stop talking to them. Keep it professional. Hey, me and old boy, we had a falling out. We don't talk anymore. And if, you know, that other person wants to bring up why, then that's on them. But you keep it fucking classy. You see what I'm saying? But to make things stick, what do females do? In this day and age, to make a situation go from small potatoes to grits and gravy, what do? He touched me. And that's what she said in the shit. And that enraged me beyond belief. And you're like, FooLy, why are you getting mad? Well, you know, I think I have a right to get mad about it because, number one, I watch both of these. You know, I'm a viewer. Number one. Number two, when you put this shit on Twitter for the public to see, you are making it our business. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't know none of this if you didn't open your motherfucking mouth. You underdig? But she said, and I wish I can show it. Like, I'm not gonna go through all of it because she wrote so much bullshit. But in one of her last paragraphs, like at the very end, you know what I'm saying? Like the last page of her manuscript, this motherfucker wrote, in 2018, he touched my boob in front of my husband. And I was looking at that, and immediately I caught on bullshit. Immediately I called on bullshit because I was like, he touched you in front of your husband and the motherfucker was still walking around? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just step aside for a second. If a dude touch you in front of your husband don't do anything about it, your problem ain't with the person who touched you. Your problem is with your husband. He should have been walking in that nigga ass from jump. That's number one. Number two, and I think he said it best, GrandPooBear, he was like, yo, bro, since 2018, we have done all of these events. We you know, done like streams together and all this other stuff. You supported me. So what is that saying? You're condoning his behavior. Why? Because at the time, you was probably, you was getting the exposure with being around this dude. When the bag is good, hey, I ain't got no problems. But then when shit looks faulty, that's when you want to raise your hand. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who's worse, her husband or her, because you put up with the shit. Now, it would have been different if you went against the grain and called this dude out when it happened. Even if it was 3 to 6 months to a year later, you call this dude out. Anything over a year, yo, swallow that shit and move on. But I'm saying, if you had called that shit out when it happened, I would have had more respect for you. But you call that shit out, like you compile all of these instances, that let me know you really wasn't this dude's friend from jump. You were cooking this shit, you were cooking this casserole for a minute. You been despising this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You just needed something to jump off on, and you took this situation and used it. You feel what I'm saying? And I felt so bad for GrandPooBear because I'm like, I'm not saying the dude's perfect. I think everybody is allowed a 60-40 rule or 70-30 rule, where you can have 70% good and 30% bad. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like you're not going to please everybody, but it's still a way of handling situations. And I feel like this girl handled it so fucking wrong. And to throw in a sexual allegation in this day and age, like, you could have pulled this dude to the side. And if it's like the 3rd or 4th time you've done this, then cut him off. Stop dealing with him. Don't sit up here and make these big old assumptions, because then you're ultimately, what you're doing, because y'all share the same audience, you're making people pick and choose sides. And you don't ever want to fucking do that, because this was just terrible, man. And I'm standing up for this dude because nobody else did. And I'm like, I feel even worse for him, because I'm like, damn, you didn't have one motherfucking friend to stand up and say this motherfucker was full of shit. Because so many people, so many guys are scared. Once a sexual allegation is put forth, guys are scared to touch the situation. Oh shit, what do I got in my... Even if they've never done anything, they're just scared to touch the situation because it can go either way. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like women today, that'll body a dude. That's all you have to say. You know what I'm saying? He touched me. He made me feel uncomfortable. And niggas will lose their bag. Niggas will lose everything. You know what I'm saying? And if that's what she did, that's not an appropriate response to somebody saying, oh, I was mad over a video game, or because, you know, we couldn't play a video game together. And if the dude's being a prima donna, call him on that shit and keep it moving. Don't sit up here and make a whole training script. And this is how I knew she was fishing for views and likes and all this other shit, was because she sit up there and said, how did she put it on her Twitter? I'm taking the time. I'm not streaming the rest of the week. I'm taking this time to heal. Motherfucker, from what? Heal from what? Nothing happened. Oh, he said he was mad at you over a video game. What do you need to heal from? I know you ain't talking about that shit that happened in 2018. The bitch has been, what, almost 3 years. And I'm like, bro, it was just all foul. It was all foul. You know what I'm saying? And I wish I could have, you know, showed everything and went into every detail. But that's bottom line. Bottom line, I don't think any of this warranted her response. And if it did, it should have came up a long time ago. And I know you're thinking like, oh, well, you know, maybe she was scared. All the girls want to play that victim card. Maybe she was scared and didn't want to. Not in this day and age. Because niggas will get clapped up quick once you say, oh, they touched me. Oh, they did that. It's no reason to fear because everybody will be on your back if you stand up for yourself. But you're not standing up for yourself if you sit up here and wait like this motherfucker did. You know what I'm saying? Do I think GrandPooBear was wrong for what he did? Yes, that bitch looks like Skeletor.
Oh, E FooLy signing the fuck out.
Spread the word, I'm back breaking bitch.